Do you feel frustrated trying to grow your franchise? Are you having trouble balancing your consumer and franchise development marketing? Do you wish there was an easier way? Imagine if you had a proven roadmap to take your franchise's marketing from costing you to making you money. That's why we've created the Franchise Growth Blueprint. We walk you through the exact same process that we use to run franchise marketing campaigns for our clients at scale that has resulted in triple-digit growth. This blueprint isn't for anyone. It's not for people just starting a franchise. It's not for franchises without long-term goals. This is for franchises that want to scale up their marketing in a predictable and profitable way using a proven roadmap. If you want to sell more franchises, keep your current franchisees happy, and learn from people who have already done it, go to franchisegrowthblueprint.com and sign up today. That's franchisegrowthblueprint.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Franchise Marketing Podcast. Today, I'm super excited to have Amy Reed, who is the co-founder and co-owner of Wolfies. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate you having me on today.
No problem. It's great to have you on. So, for our listeners who don't know you and don't know what Wolfies does, could you explain a little?
Sure. We actually started Woofie 16 and a half years ago. We are a pet sitting, dog walking, and mobile grooming business. We started in Ashburn, Virginia, and providing those services to our clients in our local community, and looked for different ways to grow our business and moved into franchising a little over 2 years ago. So we have three franchisees in the Metro DC area, three just incredible business owners that we're really excited to work with and very excited to bring some more franchisees on board.
Awesome. Cool. So, you started franchising the last 2 years, that you said. So, what made you decide to go the franchising route?
Our business is a highly personal one. We are taking care of people's pets. Pets are important members of the family, and we're going into their homes. So it is a highly personalized, customized business. And when we looked at growing our business, we could have opened up a couple more corporate stores, hired a manager, had them run that location. But we really wanted business owners, people who had skin in the game, people who are going to take this as their own business and love those pets and take care of those clients as their own. And so we just felt that franchising was the right move for us.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about, you mentioned how personal the services that you provide, and just having that skin in the game. I
Absolutely.
always feel, adds that pressure to really be personable and provide that type of experience.
Absolutely. I mean, when the phone rings and your best client needs something at 10 o'clock on a Friday night or on a weekend or a holiday, I want somebody that has that skin in the game and has that team mentality and just wanting to do anything above and beyond for their clients. So that's why we were really excited to go into the franchising route.
Awesome. So, what are some of the biggest learnings that you've had onboarding these handful of franchisees that you have right now?
It's a great question. I would say the biggest is making that transition from running a consumer business for the past 16 years, to really working with a business owner. You are working with these franchisees and teaching them how to run a Woofie's business. And it's just a whole different mindset. A lot of it is truly train the trainer concepts because they have to go out and run their business and do the marketing and worry about the financials and build their team of pet sitters and dog walkers and groomers. And that's what I love about franchising is they don't have to do it alone. We're there with them every step of the way. Our team works with them and gives them the experience that we've had for the past 16 and a half years. So they don't have to go through and make those mistakes in the early days or try to figure things out on their own. They really get to start this new business, but we're with them hand in hand and side by side. So I think that part of it is really interesting because you really are working with the business owners and teaching them to run the Whoopies business. And that's been the biggest change in mindset for us.
Totally, and that's something, I hear a lot of, and I was actually talking with another franchise owner the other day, and that like you no longer like your customer is now the franchisee. So I'd love to hear more about you know what did you do to get in that mindset?
Well, customer service is very natural to us. We're in such a service oriented business. We always talk, and from day one, we always talked about everything is for the customer. In fact, our mission statement is to make sure every customer experience is exceptional. And that's something that has been ingrained in us from day one for our clients. And we also take that same mentality to our internal customers, which is those are our team members, our pet sitters, dog walkers, groomers, our back office team members. So it's always providing exceptional service to them.
Mhm.
Now, by layering in franchisees, the that's the ultimate customer experience, where you really are there to make sure that they're going to be successful. You're there to provide them all the processes and procedures and all the everything that we can do to make them successful. And it's not just when they first come on board, but it's constantly thinking of how can we evolve the business even further. I think not only what can we do for them today or next month, but I'm already thinking years from now, like how can we evolve the business so that they're constantly growing their business and becoming even more successful in the future.
Cool. And you bring up a good point of not just thinking of the now, but thinking of the future as well. I'd love to hear, like how are you doing that, especially as an emerging brand with things kind of constantly changing, even at almost a foundational level?
Yeah, it's certainly a challenge. And of course, this past year with COVID, that made everything even more interesting. But it's just always thinking ahead, like even from a technology standpoint, we've got a great technology platform. We have our Wolfies branded app in place, but we're always looking at how can we make that better? How can we make it more efficient? So that allows the franchisees, to be more productive and, ultimately goes towards their bottom line. So it's a lot of work just trying to always think about like more ways to enhance the service, better ways to market the service, getting more creative with the marketing. That's a big piece that we're always thinking about. And what's nice about us, we're a young franchisor, and our franchisees that have come on board actually really embrace the concept of being an early adopter and being part of a younger franchise system because they have more of a say and a voice in our organization, and we embrace that. We love the concept of collaboration. Even just with our first three franchisees, they've come in and, as an example, like one of them has a really strong technology background. So we're bringing him into our discussions with our developer because he adds such an incredible amount of value in that area. So it's really exciting to work with other business owners to take what we've done for the last 16 plus years with Woofies and learned how to run that business, but they're also putting in pieces to make the franchise system as a whole even better. So it's really exciting to work with them, and it would be really exciting to bring on future franchisees who really want to embrace that same collaborative concept with us.
You know what? I love that you brought this up because I'm seeing more and more franchises do this is, really taking a collaborative effort with growing the brand and having, these initial franchisees help shape the system, which I'm
Mhm.
sure creates an even stickier system, both in the short and
Absolutely.
the long term.
Absolutely. And you should embrace these wonderful people coming into your franchise organization, and they bring a fresh perspective. And it's exciting to blend some of their newer ideas with our proven processes. And together, it just makes the brand stronger. And that's what it's all about.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So, you mentioned marketing before, so I'd love to dive deeper into that. What have you seen to be the most successful marketing campaign or channels for Woofie so far? We'll get right back to the show, but do you feel frustrated trying to grow your franchise? Are you having trouble balancing your consumer and franchise development marketing? Do you wish there was an easier way? Imagine if you had a roadmap to take your franchise's marketing from costing you to making you money. That's why we've created the Franchise Growth Blueprint. To find out more, visit franchisegrowthblueprint.com. That's franchisegrowthblueprint.com. Now back to today's episode.
I would say, due to the highly personal nature of our business, we really work off referrals. It's being completely embedded in your local community. It's where you provide exceptional service to your clients and they go on their social media pages and talk about the great service that they had from Woofiees. And when also we build the relationships with the local vets or dog trainers or the pet boutiques, we all refer business back and forth to one another. So a big part of our Woofie's franchise concept is being part of your local community. So knowing all the local pet related business owners, but also the non pet related business owners. The fun part about marketing with a brand like Woofie's, you have your mobile grooming van that's branded Woofie's, and that's your best marketing vehicle you could possibly imagine as it's driving around, going to appointments and parked in front of clients' houses. So we get a ton of business from the vans, but we also use the vans to go to yappy hours at local bars and restaurants, or we go to the farmers markets and we have our van there and we do nail trims or baths for the dogs that come by. So marketing's a lot of fun and there's so much that you can do, but a big piece of it is building that personal connection with people and that personal relationship, and that's what leads to so many referrals, and that's really the biggest piece. I mean, of course you do your social marketing, which is huge, your digital marketing, but doing the events and just having those personal referrals from happy clients is such a great way to grow your business.
Mhm. And you know what? I love it because referrals are such a powerful way to, not just drive new business, but to make new connections, as you said, not necessarily within your industry, but in the community as general. Have you found that um, there is like you've had almost difficulty scaling referrals, or have you almost like cracked that code on that? Love to hear more.
Oh, I think you should never take for granted that you have all the referrals that are out there. There's always so much more business to be had and more ways to market your business and to bring on new customers. And not only to bring on new customers, but to add additional services for them. So, for example, we have a lot of pet sitting clients, thousands of them that have been with us for many, many years.
Mhm.
And when we added the mobile grooming component to our business, it was great because it was another service that we were able to provide to those grooming clients. This past year, for example, with COVID, we've added a lot of additional grooming clients, especially in the early days when a lot of the salons were closed. We were able to still operate due to the mobile nature of our company and the no contact free service we were able to provide.
Mhm.
So we've added all of these new grooming clients, which is fantastic. And as they start this year, to travel or go back into the office, they're going to need pet sitting and dog walking services. So it's a great way to grow the business, and not only by the number of new clients, but adding additional services to each of those new clients as well.
I love that. So, you mentioned that you just recently added the mobile spa. So, what was that almost light bulb moment where you said, "Hey, this would be a good avenue to explore"?
Yeah, we actually added mobile services to our corporate office 9 years ago. So we started off 16 and a half years ago of doing pet sitting and dog walking only.
Mhm.
And we built a really great relationship with the clients. And they were constantly asking us about mobile grooming services, and nobody was really doing it in our local area. We had a couple of brick and mortar salons open, but we really didn't have any mobile offerings. And we really didn't know much about mobile grooming, but we learned very quickly. We hired some groomers, bought our first van, and really dug into the business and learned what that business model looked like. And that's really when we saw such tremendous growth with our Ashburn location. by adding the additional services of mobile grooming to our existing pet sitting, dog walking, it really helped us grow very quickly.
Awesome. I love it. And I'm sure like your franchisees also appreciate almost the dual and complementary revenue streams that it brings.
Absolutely. And in fact, that's a big piece that we talk about with prospective franchisees is you have multiple revenue streams and are also recurring revenue streams because typically, for example, like I have King Charles Cavalier, he needs to be on a grooming schedule every 6 weeks. So it is recurring revenue for the franchisees. You do a great job, you put them on a recurring schedule for the next year, and that's guaranteed revenues for the franchisees. Same with the pet sitting, dog walking side. You have people going into an office, even if it's a couple days a week, or sometimes a lot of people have 5 days a week. It just depends. But that's recurring revenue. So I think having those two revenue streams is really important for franchisees because it, you know, it brings in the additional income for them, but also it creates stronger loyalty with those clients because they're using you for multiple services.
Totally. Totally. Very cool. So, Amy, one question I always love to ask is what advice would you give someone just starting out as a franchisor?
As a franchisor,
Yeah.
I would good question, I love that one. I would say really educate yourself on what it is like to be a franchisor. Take advantage of everything the IFA has to offer. Seek out other franchisors, not only emerging franchisors, but the experienced ones. We spent the last couple of years going to all the conferences and networking with lots of different franchisors, and that has been absolutely invaluable for us. We've learned so much. We still have so much more to learn. It's an ongoing process, of course. But I would say make that investment in yourself and your team because you owe it to a franchisee to put your best foot forward every single day. You know, you need to earn that royalty stream every time they make that payment. And you always have to evolve as a franchisor. So I would really recommend to everybody always educate yourself and network and take advantage of these incredibly smart people that have built great franchise systems. You can learn so much from them.
Yeah.
So
Great advice. And to that point, I love how open and transparent and sharing and caring like the franchise community is. That's one thing that just totally shocked me when I was initially getting into it.
same here. I heard that when we first started. And of course, that cynical part of me was like, there's no way it's that open and transparent. But it really is. I mean, people that I know are so incredibly busy will take time out of their day to talk to you if you have a question you want to run by or just spending time to give you some guidance and work as a mentor. It's been absolutely incredible. I feel very lucky to be part of the franchise world. I love it.
Totally, totally. Cool. So, we've talked about the past. What does the future look like for you and Woofies?
We are excited for a lot of growth coming up this year. We spent last year really focusing on our Ashburn location and our first three franchisees as we were dealing with COVID. And we just really wanted to make sure everyone was in a good place and moving forward. But this year, we're really looking forward to some growth and bringing on new franchisees.
Cool. That's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to watching you and the Woofies brand
Thank
grow.
you.
All right, Amy. So we're coming to the end of the episode, and I like to end all episodes with, as you know, the lightning round. It's a few fast-paced questions coming at you. Don't worry, no hardballs. Are you ready?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. So, first question: what is your favorite tool or app that you cannot live without?
Well, there's a lot of them, but I would have to say the Woofie's app because I'm on that. It feels like 24/7.
Awesome. I love it. So, second question: what is your favorite book?
Right now, I'm reading Traction, and it has very quickly become my favorite book. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, Traction is awesome. I
Yeah,
love EOS. It's just fantastic.
absolutely.
All right, next one is who is a franchise leader that you look up to?
I have been very fortunate to have met a lot of really incredible people. It's hard to pin it down to one, but I would say the top, Mark Siebert and Chris Morehouse from my franchise group,
Mhm.
Steve Murphy and Rocco Fiorentino. They have been incredible mentors to me and my team, and they've just been amazing. I've been very fortunate to have them in my life.
Awesome. All right, Amy, last question, I promise. Where can people find out more about you and your franchise?
To learn more about Wolfies and our franchise opportunity, can go to ownawolfies.com.
Awesome. Well, Amy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. You shared a ton of insights that I know our listeners are going to find really valuable.
Thank you so much for having me, Jordan. It was great talking to you, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Bye for now.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Franchise Marketing Podcast. If you found this episode useful, share it with a friend and subscribe now so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. And until then, happy marketing.